Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. I wanted to make a top 10 list of games that I enjoyed playing in 2016. Now I haven't had the pleasure to play a lot of games this year, so if a great game is missing, it's probably because I haven't had the chance to play it yet. Stuff like Uncharted 4 are still on my to-do list. Number 10, Inside. I really enjoyed playing Braid, and it really made me open to puzzle games that aren't like 10 plus hours long, and it's just long enough to not feel repetitive and something that showcases both a clever idea and a unique atmosphere, and Inside does just that. It's a great puzzle game if you had the money to spare, although it doesn't last for that long, which again for me is almost a plus instead of being a minus. Number 9, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I played this on PC after spending a small fortune to build a strong gaming rig, and it really allowed me to feel the graphical power of my investment. Now, I've never really liked Tomb Raider games, but this one seemed like it was really good, something sort of like Uncharted or something, so I decided to try it out, and I found that I really liked it. It's super cinematic in both its pacing and its aesthetic, and overall the gameplay is just really fun. The game eventually came out on the PS4 recently, so if it's anything like the PC version, I say it's a must try. Number 8, Furi. I just did a game preview on this on my channel, but for the price tag you just can't say no to this game. It's a challenging combat action game where you fight a series of creative bosses set inside of a retro sci-fi world, and one of the best original soundtracks I've ever heard in a game. It's an absolute joy to play, so if you like action games where it's challenging but rewarding, this is one game you don't want to miss. Number 7, The Last Guardian. I'll be honest, I didn't track this game that much, and while I did enjoy Shadow of the Colossus a lot, I didn't really get into eco, so this wasn't like a big thing for me. However, after seeing glowing reviews, I decided to pick it up, and man was it an adventure. At the core, it's a clever and fun puzzle game, but the relationship between the boy and Trico is so organic, so delicate and earned, I could see how it took years to craft. I became so attached to the beast that I couldn't even play the last third of the game. It literally killed me inside to see my friend in perilous situations, so I opted to just watch the remaining parts on YouTube. If any game can prove that games can be art, this is definitely one of them. I think it's totally worth the price tag for the experience alone. Number 6, Witcher 3. Now, it's no secret to you guys that I'm not really a fan of open world games. I find myself getting overwhelmed and I lose focus. Things feel so daunting and large that I tend to just shy away from playing the game. That being said, Witcher 3, although I never finished it, is one of those games that I think everyone needs to try. The way the world is built, the way they were able to do side quests in an interesting way, and the overall narrative is really top-notch stuff, and I would almost say it's revolutionary. It's an amazing experience to play, and I bet for those who jump in, this will be their game of the year. I also heard that the new DLC is pretty much game of the year material as well. Number 5, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. This game is coming out in the West mid-January for both iOS and Android. I don't like to game on my phone at all, but this is really proving to be the exception. I'm a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I fell out of the game and retired after Yu-Gi-Oh! GX ended and 5Ds started. Looking at the current game, it feels a little overcomplicated and the balance seems a little bit off, but classic Yu-Gi-Oh! That's where it's at. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is a journey back into the old school days where ritual and fusion summons were a thing, Judge Man is still whomping on people, and Enemy Controller is a killer card. The game will expand as the game goes on, which is great, but so far it's built from the older cards, but with a really nice mix of newer cards as well. For example, we don't have Jinzo yet, but we have stuff like Amazonas decks and Gravekeepers. The game uses a speed duel format, which I admit some people may or may not like, but once you get used to it, really for a game that you play on the go, I think it's perfect. Number 4, Monster Hunter Stories. Now, while still a Japan-only release, this game I really didn't have huge expectations for. I just felt that it would be a solid game like something like Ni no Kuni, and it was that, and more. The story itself was kind of boring, but the world, the mechanics, and the overall polish of the game was really fun. I really love how they reimagined the monsters and how you can sort of ride them and they can become kind of like your pets. And I felt that the game really didn't have any fat. I finished the game at about 91 hours and it never overstayed its welcome. If the game comes to the West, I would say that this is a must-get for fans of the series. Number 3, Dragon Quest Builders. Now, I played this game in 2015, but I'm going to include it here because it came out in the West in 2016. They kept saying that this was kind of a Dragon Quest themed Minecraft game, which I think is totally wrong. This is a classic adventure RPG, but with builder elements. It has a structured story, clear objectives, wonderful characters, and a fun world to explore. Yes, there is freedom and tons of creative freedom as well, but there are very clear objectives that you need to clear. I ended up playing this game start to end a whopping 3 times with my daughter and loved it every time. Once you clear the story mode, you can unlock the creative mode where you can let your inner builder go wild. Dragon Quest Builders is absolutely a must play. I played it on the PlayStation 4, I know it is on the Vita, but I believe that's a port of the PlayStation 3 version, so it does suffer from some frame rate issues, so if you have the choice, pick up the PS4 version. Number 2, Dark Souls 3. Now, I was never really a Dark Souls guy, simply because I never played the games. I played the heck out of Bloodborne and I absolutely loved it, so I went on to try Dark Souls 2, which I was surprised it instantly just didn't click for me. I decided to get Dark Souls 3 though because it was such an affair of the release coming out here, and it instantly clicked, I mean from the first hour. I played it through 3 times start to end, and it stands as one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 4. From an incredibly immersive world and a delicately woven difficulty that is both challenging but rewarding, this game is an absolute must play. I could make an entire video talking about this, so I'm just going to leave it at, there's tons of great content out there, check it out, and if you haven't played the game, I highly recommend it. Number 1, the mighty number 9. Sorry, I don't know how that got on the list. Number 1, Monster Hunter Generations. Now, it goes without saying that this is my game of the year, especially when you look at how much content I made for it. But honestly, after playing Monster Hunter Cross, the Japanese version, for 449 hours, I really wasn't sure how much I would actually play this game. I was just sort of progressing and then making tutorial videos. But lo and behold, I got hooked all over again. The localization was top notch, the community is the best in the world, and I ultimately fell in love with the Prowler, and I ended up playing it for the majority of my time with the game. It's never too late to get into the latest and greatest Monster Hunter, so if you haven't played it yet, I believe you can find it on sale, so go ahead and get Monster Generations, you won't regret it. So there you go, that's my top 10. What were your top 10? Were there any games on here that you feel that I would really enjoy that I haven't played? Go ahead and let me know in comments below. Stuff like Furi, I would have never found on my own, so it was a friend who plays Monster Hunter, who knows that I would like it, who let me know, so go ahead and leave me some recommendations down in comments below. And until next time, happy hunting.